Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news reads, Lawmakers gives Chinese doctors stringent lay down protocols to undergo before assessing Nigeria. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel if you've not, and if you have, please don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish videos on our channel. All right, let's look at the news in detail. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has said the Chinese medical personnel coming to Nigeria to assist in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic must undergo the necessary checks as provided by Nigeria. Gbajabiamila, after a meeting with the Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ohanaya, and Minister of State for Health, Oluronimbe Mamora, said the measure became necessary to take precautions and allay fears expressed by many Nigerians. Present at the meeting were the Chief Whip Mohammed Tahe Monguno, Deputy Leader Peter Akbatasen, and Deputy Chief Whip Nkiruka Onyejocha. The Speaker said the meeting was convened following widespread complaints that trailed the announcement of the coming of some Chinese medical personnel to assist Nigeria. Explaining the essence of the meeting, he said, and I quote, "There are a lot of complaints about why we are bringing in Chinese doctors. It is incumbent on us as lawmakers to intervene, following the concern of our constituents, to understand the issues and get the right information to them. Our duty is to protect the Nigerian people, and every opportunity to increase our knowledge will not be thrown away. Having listened to you, what we are taking away from this meeting is that Nigeria needs this intervention from the Chinese, but you have to make it mandatory that they observe all the protocols laid down for the disease. As you explained that they won't have direct contact with Nigerian patients, you have to make sure that they go through our official immigration laws. They have to get work permit waivers because they are coming here to work. Also, they have to be quarantined for 14 days as stipulated by the protocol, and you have to educate Nigerians about these to avoid misconceptions. We have laws and they must be complied with." In his remark, Minister of Health Ahanayes told the House leaders that Nigeria did not officially invite the Chinese team, but that it was an offer arranged by a group of Chinese companies based in Nigeria as part of their corporate social responsibility (CSR) to Nigeria. On his part, Minister of State for Health Mamora said the Chinese personnel were mainly experts in molecular laboratory testing, where we have only 2 indigenous experts currently serving 7 laboratory centers. He said that the Chinese doctors were expected to help in setting up molecular laboratory around the country, as well as upgrade and reconfigure existing ones. He added that the Chinese medical personnel would not have direct contact with Nigerian patients, but only help to reconfigure the laboratories and train Nigerian personnel and experts on the management of the disease and operation of the equipment and upgraded laboratories. Noting that the Chinese gesture has no financial implication to Nigeria, Mamora regretted that there was little option than to accept the offer. He said, "Case testing is the bulk of work because some persons are asymptomatic, so we need faster and rapid test kits and processing. We are doing molecular testing that help us know the viral load as well. We need to expand our testing labs across the country. Presently, we have 2 lab scientists in molecular testing, serving 7 labs across the country. As we are expanding across the country, we need more people to be trained in molecular testing for faster results. We are monitoring all the activities that will be taking place when they are around." All right, that's just it. And we just want to look at this. It sounds so good. It sounds so wonderful. It sounds so it looks like a blessing to Nigerians, But at the same time, we must be overly careful, bringing in these guys, because we have already, why Nigerians are crying the way we are doing, why Nigerians are resenting their entry into the country, is not because they are not coming to offer us help. But thus far, by record, we've already heard that the help that they seem to have offered other parts of the world, whether it is Europe, whether it is, Asia, whether it is America and the likes, have not actually been a good one. We've seen a case that took place in the UK where a lot of test kits and other, kits like, the mask, the nose mask and face mask was taken to UK. And after, carrying out testing on it, they realized that actually all those stuffs were infected with virus, which therefore means that they were bringing in more virus into the environment. And, when more viruses are coming into the environment, we will see it on our tar roads, we will see it on ground, everywhere will be filled with the virus. And before you know, the number of the rate of spread will increase rapidly. And that is why you see Nigerians are crying and say they do not want it in any way. They do not want to have any interactions with these people. I saw in the news today in TVC where WHO have warned that Africa is not a testing ground for any form of vaccine that have been discovered. Africa is not, we are human beings, we need to place value on ourselves. Okay, look at what the Minister of Health for State, the Minister of State for Health have said, that actually it's like a corporate social responsibility on the part of some Chinese company in Nigeria. And they believe that the way of helping out during this period without any form of financial implication to Nigeria is to bring in some scientists who are good in molecular laboratory, blah, 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 blah. Oga, forget about too much free things, the rum belly. Free food to the wrong belly, because anyhow the person could come, now so you go on receive him. You will work according to his condition. Because after a while, as far as you say quarantine them for 14 days and all of that, those protocols will be broken after a while. We are coming to help you people. Why are you putting us under serious protocols like this and all of that? You do not, none of us, if we have, in the whole of Nigeria, we just have 2 experts. Do you know what they are going to fuse? They say they are going to reconfigure the laboratories and all of that. Do you know what they are going to put in the laboratory that may end up being detrimental to Nigerians? Maybe possibly you take a blood sample for test and all of that. By the time they test it, they notice this and that, and before you know, those people are infected, the laboratory guys are infected and all of that. So that's why Nigerians are overly careful. Femi Biagbajamela, being the lead person trying to see how he can protect Nigerians, I think it's not just a mouth thing. You've gotten a word from them that they will pass through some very stringent, protocols before they have any interaction with Nigerians. But don't forget that you won't be on ground to checkmate all these things. By the time those Chinese people come into Nigeria and you quarantine them for the next 3 days and they are like, why not test us to see if we have the virus and all of that? And before you know, blah, 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 we are coming to help them. Why are they treating us as if we are outcasts? From that point to another point, it will be a case of, they are just coming to help us. That release these people. Nigerians must not hear about it. Nobody can tell what will happen there. And that's why we are trying to be extremely careful. The most amazing part of this whole thing is the fact that there are some local herbs that some persons who have recovered from this sickness have told Nigerians that if it is being put into use, it can help to destroy this virus. But guess what? The government is not talking about it. Imagine someone like Sheyi Makinde in Fresh FM 2 days yesterday. They called him, and he had to spell out the things he used within a short period of time of less than one week. The virus died, and now he is negative. He has gone for another test. He's negative. He spells out those things. And guess what? Government seem not to give ears to anything herbs, anything fruit. They just believe it must always be English drug. Is it by force? Must it always be English drugs that we must always take for us to believe that we are going to be cured or something? Okay, he had talked about some things that are very much available in Nigeria, the likes of vitamin C, the likes of carrot, the likes of black seed oil mixed with honey. That's what he's been taking. And before you know, boof, immune system was boosted and the virus was killed. These are some of the things that we should adopt and forget all this scientific bullshit, because whatever they're going to be doing is traceable to the herbs. They're going to be using herbs to do it. As much as we desire help from them, social corporate responsibility that the Chinese are claiming to be giving to us, why don't they help us to fix our road? Why don't they help us to give us free electricity? Why don't they help Nigerians to give us something like, quality education? That's give us something like building schools for Nigerians than to go and import things that we do not even have ideas about. Our people have not been fully trained. We have only 2 professionals in the whole of Nigeria. And you're going to bring in these people. And these 2 professionals are not very vast in it, because if they are vast in it, they would have known how to reconfigure the laboratories. You're bringing people whom the whole world is rejecting them. Everything that they're coming up with, the whole world is rejecting them. And you're bringing them into your system. Do you know the aftermath of their staying here? Maybe after everything and they leave, you start seeing the traces of what they brought into the system. These guys, we've already heard, though some people believe that it's mere story and all of that. But hey, there's an iota of truth in everything we are hearing thus far. They say these guys wants to be the world power. So they want to remote everybody to function exactly how they want them to function. Even look at Nigeria. We are going to China to be begging them for this thing, for loans and for all of that. That will give them entry point into Nigeria without any form of stress. And that's why Nigerians are crying out. I think this thing should be taken seriously, because these guys, when they have an agenda, they don't care who's ox is going to be God. What they want is main. We need to roll out our agenda, and it must be a reality. Look at what happened in China. Just Wuhan alone was attacked by the virus. All the other cities, Beijing and the rest, none of them were attacked. Just to show you that there's something these guys are trying to test. Okay, if you guys believe you want to reconfigure, you want to do go to Italy. Italy have the worst rate of death in respect to this pandemic. Italy is there. Spain is there. America is down, it's almost worse. Go down to those countries that have the problem. Stop coming to Nigeria. We are okay. We can fix our own issues. As much as I know, God has given us everything when it comes to help and the likes that will enable Nigerians, to stay free of all of this. After we didn't need to import anybody into Nigeria when Ebola came in. Lesser fever here, we are handling it stresslessly. So we do not really need all those unnecessary experts before they come and mess up the whole system for us. I think this is something that everyone must keep on crying, because we don't want some of the so-called ministers. We've seen a lot of things in this country. And guess what? Nigerians are saying we are tired. You can't trick us any longer. You just can't trick us any longer. Boko Haram has been one of the greatest one of the greatest problem of this country. And it's as if it is actually unsolvable. Nobody on earth can solve it. Only for the Chad president and his military to take a move. Look at how they massacre Boko Haram, make sure that they totally annihilate them. And when the man was granted interview, the man said actually that Nigeria is joking. Despite the huge amount of money we have pushed in, does it mean that we need to go and get the general that led the troop of Chad to come and take over from Brutai? These are the things that we are saying. There's a game that nobody seems to understand how it's being played. And these things are being done to the detriment of Nigerians. And that's why you are hearing us crying out. We are tired of all of this. I think it's high time we get things done right. And we stop all these games. However, go and get carrot. Go and get black seed oil. Give to those people. Get vitamin C. The Oni of Ife has already told Nigerians how to fight COVID-19. And he has spelled out the things that if it is being used, that he got all those ideas from Cuba. Put those things into use. No matter how mutated the so-called virus is, with our prayer that we have been praying, we will kill it and send it packing. We must not be like the other people. We are talking about 5G. Everybody is playing with it. This is really it's serious.